It don't matter. Hey, look, it ain't Joe Rogan yet. So, anywho's.
We're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there. Anyways, Garrett, this is your first time returning back for a good week.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, let me go ahead and kick it off. Say, welcome to the Pursell channel. Garrett, you were back for the first time since coming back in 2020 with Steve, Matt, and Micah. This is the first official good week. Kind of go through from the start, because I know a lot of people are probably interested in kind of understanding when y'all came. Explain to us how the first time we met and your the first emotions of when you got the call to come to Pursell back when COVID hit.
Yeah. So obviously it was 2 years ago, almost on the dot too, which is pretty crazy. How
it is wild.
It worked out the same exact time frame. Obviously, COVID was just a little thought when we were coming down here originally for that 1 week span. That was the original plan. We were going to stay in the cabin for a week, and then as that week went on, we realized we were going to have to quarantine here, which we were already having so much fun. And we were like, well, this is just about the best place you could ever quarantine. And thankfully, we were able to still get out and play golf and film, which was a huge blessing because we were still able to give everyone at home content that we, really wanted to be able to film in such a terrible time. So that alone was just such a blessing for us to be able to still do what we do. And then obviously as that time went on, I don't really know how to explain it. It's not just Pursell Farms,
Mm-hmm.
It's one, Pursell Farms, obviously being out here in the middle of nowhere, just having the scenery, having the course, the combination of all that, plus, meeting you, Parker, your whole family. That's what really, for me, made this place so special.
Yeah.
Because, we were able to build the relationships we built, and it was so not planned either. I didn't even know coming into that week I was going to be hanging out with you and Parker and the Pursell family. I didn't even know that was going to be a thing. I thought we were just coming down here to do our thing that we normally do, film and whatever. But it ended up just happening the way it happened, and Shake and Bake was formed.
Dude, that's still crazy to think about. Like you said, because I felt like we met in the fall of 19. Remember when I met you and Tig in Dallas for the first time, and then Joe gave us a call, came down here, and again, like you said, it was pretty. It's pretty organic. The only thing I've always done with Joe is come alongside the guys he works with.
That was at Topgolf, wasn't that?
Yes.
Yeah.
That night y'all rolled in from the airport, and we were talking, hanging out, and then went there, hung out, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
But being able to come in, like you said, the content's changed a good bit, but it went from vlog style now to more it's y'all got a strong vision for what you want with your group, the originals, you, Steve, Matt, Micah. What would you say from start to finish? Do you feel like there was consistency in your experience here when you came? You and I both expected nothing, and like I said, it was really cool because I felt like from the first time, we were able to connect, though apart, a good deal separated in age. I both felt like we really wanted the same thing.
Right.
And then when we were able to connect on a deeper level, we knew that we were in the cut for a while.
Right.
We just started all opening up and relaxing. Do you feel like your experience was consistent from start to finish? That emotion you felt coming in, and by the time you left, do you feel like it's probably one of the most consistent experiences you've ever had?
Are you talking about the first time?
Yeah. This time's different. We were able to build upon what we built, but just that first time. Because I feel like a lot of people are that's what got them bought into everything.
It's so funny, even Matt especially, not saying Matt's a closed off person or anything, but it's tough to get to know Matt and all of us, to be honest. We have our friend group, we have our circle of friends, and that's who we hang out with, and obviously we have our own friends outside of that, but it was just instant with you guys, you and Parker. Like we just got along really well, and so like obviously walking into it, we didn't know what to expect, but then we started putting you guys on camera, and it was just like, it was amazing. Then literally, I remember crying when we left because it had such a special place in my heart. It's like we literally just lived there. It wasn't like we visited. It felt like we just lived a whole life there, especially because that content carried on for months on end. So it was like, I don't even know. It felt like a completely different lifestyle, and it was surreal. So
what do you feel like since then? Because I mean, I went off the grid for the most part. Went back to Nashville. Now met my future wife, or I met my wife now.
Your current wife.
not future anymore.
You guys gonna get married again?
Yeah, we're gonna get married again. We're gonna throw another wedding. But like I had a lot of cool things happen. But for y'all, obviously a lot of stuff started popping for y'all since that experience here. Like, what do you feel like? What was the biggest change that happened in your life, in particular, over the past couple years, where you're just like, I never saw this coming?
Well, biggest change is just obviously good in general, and the path that it's gone. Having, like you said, like it was vlog style too. So even the content has obviously changed a lot. We came in with like kind of a set schedule. Last time we came here, we didn't have any schedule. We just filmed whatever. We woke up sometimes at 1 p.m. and would film whatever came to mind.
Yep.
But like this time, we were waking up on a schedule. We knew exactly what we were going to get done. We have a lot more of a production crew. We have 4 videographers and 2 full-time editors for Good and 1 for Good Labs. So like we knew this time it still was so special. Like even for me, like the day that we took off, because we had 1 day off obviously while we were here. And that one day I literally just sat in that room, and as you know, I played piano for like 5 hours straight pretty much, like the whole day, and probably annoyed everyone in the house. But
no, dude, my sister used to play there all the time. I love it. For real, whenever I hear music going through there, it just reminds me of when I was sleeping at night. And you were playing one of the same songs that she used to play back in high school, just consistently, so it triggered those memories like that.
So that was really special. Obviously, going up to the top of the mountain tonight was awesome too, seeing a little bit of the sunset, the cross and stuff. But I feel like also I feel like I was a different person because it's been 2 years. Like, I feel like we've all changed and matured in a lot of ways. Even just physically, I was 130 pounds and I'm 170 pounds now.
Facts.
Steven 140, now 180. Same thing. We've both.
Steve.
We've both. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
And like so that, and then like also, mentally, just feeling like we've grown a lot as people. Going through the things that we've gone through, in those 2 years. So obviously a lot has changed, but the biggest thing was we had a straight up plan. We came here and we got a lot of stuff done, but like it was still the same thing for me. Like, I mean, when I got that initial call from Joe that we were coming here, I was just like freaking out. I couldn't believe it. Because like, it's been 2 years and it's like, this place literally, I will say this place legit changed my life for the better.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, especially coming into Pursell Farms, I was in a pretty dark spot just at that given time, and you know all about it, but like, I was not doing too well, and I left like feeling like a changed man. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't just the place in general, it was you guys, the Pursell family, everyone, all the guys being close together as well. I feel like we just grew closer as a friend group as well. I think Pursell Farms is one of the biggest reasons Good even exists, because that was when Good was in talks of even being a thing. And me, Matt, and Steven especially were really nervous to even do it. Because of our past falling out with Pro 5, we were really scared.
Yeah.
And we didn't know I was going to go. So it was a little leap of faith, and being here in general like brought us all together and made us a lot closer to each other. And I think Pursell Farms is a huge reason why Good even exists. So
yeah, no, I think it's really cool to see the relationship. I mean, we at the farm exist. I mean, my dad or really my granddad before he passed a couple years back, and my dad, like servant leadership serving, making sure that like our guests and anyone, even who stays at this house, like we're one of 6 kids, 15, 20, 30 people even stay here at times. My dad feeding everyone, like hospitality's always been our biggest thing. But, you know, like.
And by the way, thank you. And thank you to your parents for literally, for everyone wondering, they were at 100% capacity. Yeah. Joe called, he called you, right? Mm-hmm. A week prior to this being set up, can you make this happen? Your parents went to the lake house. There's 10 beds in this house. And we literally just took over your parents' house for the week. So thank you. Like, I don't know if there's any other humans on this planet that would just do that. Just get up and leave and say, here's a bunch of random YouTubers. Let's just let them stay in our house.
Or you could say you don't know if there's that strong a brand out there that could do that. You know, just saying, kick the owners out of their own house. Just saying. It's a good thing.
That's true.
Yeah. So, I've got a few more questions real quick. One, what would you say for you? I mean, even when we were here all week, you saw like the kids coming out. Like, I was scared when Micah and I went out to go hit range balls. I was like, what's going on? Like, oh, we got our massive kids tournament. I was like, oh gosh. Like, yeah, I was like, oh Lord.
I got into the clubhouse and then they came flowing in and I was like, it was awesome.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Of course, it's great. But like, again, it's like when you've got a job to do and you're on a time frame, it can be hard, obviously, to balance that. But most kids get their time with you on YouTube or the digital space. And everybody knows. You always hear of stuff that's what's real, what's fake, perception versus reality. What would you say for you, like, as you continue to build your personal brand and even good, what do you feel as though is a perception of you that people have from your online content that, like, is like, what do they perceive about you that's different than what is actually true? So they could say, oh, you could be arrogant or cocky, but they're like, no, like, I mean, this is who I truly am. Like, what's one thing that got projected onto you that just isn't real and this is like who you are?
I don't know. I mean, because naturally I think your personality changes a little bit when you're on camera. Even now, I'm not saying like I'm changing my whole personality for this video at all, but naturally you might speak a little different than you do in person and whatnot. But I try and like just stay the same person that I am on camera versus off. Like, obviously maybe I bump it up a little bit and have a little bit more energy every once in a while. But I've always tried to be like, I've always been a fan of not faking it. Because the YouTubers that I like the most are the ones that are just real and like straight up. And you can just tell like that's kind of who they are. Yeah. So, I don't know. I just try and stay like I try and stay real through the camera and off the camera. So I haven't thought about that though.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why a lot of people loved what we did. Because again, I think it's like the most beautiful things come at most unexpected times.
So I'm sorry, I can't think of something now.
Yeah.
I would say like on camera, you know, we're always there like having a good time, and you know, because we want to bring a positive light, you know, to everyone watching and whatnot. But like, everyone knows this in the group, I'm naturally just a stressful person. If anything like goes wrong, I'm like freaking out about it. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
So obviously the camera doesn't see that ever, but that's just something that I would say is a little different than, you know.
Yeah.
That's one thing.
Being on and off. I mean, it's not just on camera. Like, cameras are maybe fake eyeballs, but when everyone has real eyeballs on them, like, things change. So, response is different. But I can definitely say for sure, authenticity was I think that's what brought, you know, awareness to us and y'all, us coming at the same time. It's like a perfect recipe.
Yeah.
Of just like a bunch of authentic people that just kind of got put together, and it rarely happens, but I feel like it just meshes like instantly, which is like really cool. So what would you say, what would older Garrett now, 2 years in, we'll even go back to 2 years ago, what would the Garrett of now in his professional YouTube career, because we know there's a lot of kids that love watching from a consumer standpoint, and even 35, 45-year-olds that want to sit there and check out from work and watch some GMgolf and some good and Steven Castaneda hack some balls down the fairway, find 10 balls in the woods. You know, like what would you tell those kids that are trying to pursue a content creating career, but you're telling them now, like if that Garrett is in those kids' shoes and you were where you're at now, what's the one piece of advice that you would say, hey, be wary of this in pursuit of where I am?
Yeah, a couple things. First rule of thumb, do not do it with even money in the back of your head even. Like that has obviously come with, you know, everything I did through YouTube and golf. But like I've been making videos since I was 9 years old because I love making videos. Yeah. Like if I've ever made a cool video, I'd post on my dad's YouTube channel just randomly around the house, not even golf related. And I just did it because I loved it. I didn't care if I ever made a cent, you know, whatever. Like it was fun. That's why I started, and that's what I strive to do every day though. Like every day I want to make content that I'm just proud of. Like I made it, I'm like, wow, that's a really cool video. Like I'm proud of that. And I did that because I wanted to do it, and I did that not even caring if it made money, you know? So the first rule of thumb, in my opinion, is just do it because you want to do it, obviously. You know, and then the other thing is there's so many different categories of YouTube videos out there. Yeah. It might not be golf that you want to pursue. It could be something else, but like take what you're passionate about. And if you like videography or whatever, just film it. Just keep filming it, and maybe get creative a little bit with it, whatever you're passionate about. Just start uploading. Like that's the least you can do, you know, just make content in the first place if that's the direction you want to go. So obviously just love the category that you're going to be making videos about, you know, because like fortunately I loved making golf. Or I loved playing golf. You know, I started when I was 13 and started doing social media when I was 16. But you know, since I was playing golf, it just made sense to film it. And I was doing trick shots at the time, whatever. So I filmed all of it, basically. Before that, like I was making Lego videos. Videos? Yeah, literally I would make magic trick videos with card trick videos. When I was into piano, I was making piano videos. So like, I've always loved videography, and I've always been passionate about whatever else I'm doing. So I just have always wanted to mesh the two. And thankfully it worked out with golf, but it was never like, I don't think I was ever even thinking about making, you know, a clothing company, you know, a group YouTube channel and making a full brand and making money at it. I was just enjoying doing these trick shots and enjoying filming it. So just make sure you're passionate about what you're doing and doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's
my only advice.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I know a lot of them, I feel like there's a lot of times kids can, I mean, we were all young and you're always looking for where can I get the most valuable and the rich information, but I feel like it's a very hard path to figure out, you know, because it's art. Like, how do you be a successful painter? Like, who can really tell you? Without, like, you have to just have that passion for creating, and then hope that at that time your art is speaking to the environment around you where people are wanting to consume it. The digital age, that COVID happened at the perfect time. We came together, golf exploded, y'all formed something beautiful, and then kind of God was able to take that and just really like make it set fire.
Absolutely.
And it's incredible. Last couple and then we're done, but what would you say, where does you've traveled everywhere. Mm-hmm. I mean, you legit have traveled everywhere, but like, where would you say within those that create, those that are kind of on your level, where would you say that Pursell Farms kind of sits within that creator space when they hear about it since y'all have come? And I feel like it's continued to gain a little more renown when it comes to people wanting to come, when it comes here to people wanting to create.
I'm actually curious. I'm gonna do this right now because
Sorry.
So I have not done this. I have not looked this up. I'm not even kidding you. This is the first time that I've typed in GMgolf on YouTube just randomly in a long time.
Yep.
Look at the first option that pops up.
Pursell Farms.
I literally just typed, and this is with a different account. It's not with GMgolf. This is a random account. I typed in GMgolf Pursell Farms. So like, out of my channel, alone, just on GMgolf, Pursell Farms was the most popular series of videos to hit the channel, and a lot of it was to do with COVID and golf exploding, and a lot of it was to do with just us being here in general. So, I mean, I think it's pretty high up on the list. When people hear, GMgolf, they might even associate it with Pursell Farms, because maybe that's where they started watching my videos. I have had a lot of like people, interactions with fans that will come up and say they're fans of the videos. And a lot of times they'll be like, I started watching you since Pursell Farms,
Yeah.
That's like, it's like a staple for them as viewers. So, yeah, I would say it's definitely pretty up there, which is really cool. I mean, I don't think any of us expected it either. It just happened, which is awesome.
It's like I said, I just sat up there holding y'all's clubs for the 42 Club Challenge. You're like, why don't y'all come in? And why don't you come in and start hitting? So I'm like, okay, like, I'll do it.
Awesome.
Which is kind of funny to sit back, like I said, and think about that. So, final question: you're leaving now for the second time. Like, outside of anything you did, remove the video shot, like from a, let's say, an emotional standpoint or even an intangible standpoint. What is something you're taking away from this visit for yourself? Not like, like for you personally, what do you feel like, man, like I'm glad that I received this and I'm going to take this back after my experience and encounter again?
Slow down. That's like, that's what I got to say. Like, just slow down. Because I'm a high-strung person, like I said. Like, I'm naturally just stressed. If something goes wrong, it's the end of the world in my brain. And like, it's just how I am. Dallas is just naturally a pretty fast, paced place. And I got all these things going on, but like, take a deep breath, slow down. And I really thought about it a lot when I was playing the piano. It's like, I have nothing on my mind but learning this song. And I'm looking over this field and this pond. Everything is perfect. Life is good. So for me, just slow down. Don't take things so seriously either. I would say that's probably it, because like I said, naturally I'm just a stressful person. So this is being out here in nature in the middle of nowhere pretty much on this farm. Like, I don't know. It's such a cool change of pace still. Like, it's so mentally healthy. Yeah. Just being here. Especially, I go back to literally just when I sat there at that piano. Like, I'm going to remember that for the rest of my life. Just that one time playing the piano for 5 hours straight. Yeah. It was the coolest thing.
Well, that's awesome. And, for my final thoughts for you, it's been really cool because, again, I never thought that. I mean, I'm 31 now. You're what, 23, 24?
Close.
21.
21. Yeah.
He acts like he's 23 or 24.
That's good. Sometimes.
No, but think about it. There's 10, I think it's cool. Like, we're 10 years separated. You're 21, I'm 31. We see things differently, but we're able to build a bridge between all those years to connect. Like, I think from me telling you with our relationship and friendship, because I know that we'll be going to Dallas probably a few more times and obviously connecting or whatever, but I don't want you to ever forget your leadership, your potential for leadership and your capacity. Like, you're in such a cool position, and I know that at times, like you said, you can either beat yourself up or stress out or overthink. But man, God's given you such a cool platform, and He didn't mess up by giving it to you, and you didn't do anything wrong or get lucky. Don't ever think you got lucky, because you didn't. God, you worked hard, but He's given you something really cool. Now, I don't want you to ever forget the impact that you're making on these kids. And I know that if you continue to be super thankful, and even the conversations we've had, you've got a lot of cool things going for you. And so I just always want you to remember the value that you bring to other people, and not just the young kids, but even the people your age around, and that kind of impact you have, because you do. You're super personable, you're super winsome, and there's a lot of people that want to be around you just because you're Garrett, not because of GM. And that can be hard, I'm sure. But like I said, you impacted my life, and you're 10 years younger than me. you know, so don't ever think that, you know, nobody's not watching. And the gifts and abilities that God's given you to impact others' lives. Like myself, Parker, my parents, they love you. I mean, we kicked our parents out. It's pretty awesome, you know. So we loved having you here. Thanks again for sitting down, just kind of answering a few questions. And I know that we'll obviously have a lot more conversations off camera, but wanted to give people an inside scoop to the farm, and just touch base a little bit. So anyways, thank y'all for watching. Please, what do you say? Like, subscribe, slap that like button. How do you say it, Steve?
Hit the subscribe button.
Hit the subscribe button.
Hit subscribe button.
Hit the subscribe button. Welcome back to the video.
Yeah, to the Pursell channel. We'll have some cool stuff coming out this year. But anyways, again, loved having y'all here. We know that we'll be bringing up some cool stuff in the near future. And signing off, Smarty P, Parker hiding over there, Garrett, Steve-O behind the camera.
Yep.
Looking sultry. Anyways, peace out.